Welcome aboard, everyone. Simon here, Wales of Wall Street. Quick update on the Mana crypto asset, MANA, on exchange. This is to do with Decentraland. So there's not been some major updates really with Decentraland, but I just thought I'd bring out some cool little ideas that have come to play recently. So here's some really cool stuff. So Automobilist have got basically a number of NFTs available that can be used in like different kind of projects, and particularly in Decentraland. And what's really cool here, look at this. This person has purchased one for $5,600 US. Absolutely fantastic. So great little car NFTs there. I know in some aspects, like where Ikomi and Omi do, are looking at doing some kind of like drivable cars, which would be quite cool. So it'd be quite interesting if Decentraland, eventually you'd be able to drive cars around, or be able to hop into one of these cool little machines. It would be quite interesting and fun, I'm sure. But I just thought I'd bring that to your attention. But like I said, there's nothing major in the Decentraland news right now, certainly not from an announcement perspective from them, other than, again, some more really interesting NFT opportunities. There's one nice little one here from Mural, drawing up a nice visual, or looks like processing an awesome little HQ to put in there as well. So keep an eye on the Twitter account of Mana and Decentraland. Definitely highly recommended to keep track of what's going on. So into the chart, guys. So apart from that, the actual momentum is really good on Mana right now. So we're using the Binance data on TradeView here. Performance-wise, you see on the right-hand side, weekly, monthly, 3 monthly, absolutely fantastic, positive green right there. We're in a strong buy mode currently, and that's kind of emphasized here. We've seen the increase in the RSI. We've seen the switch over on the MACD here, which is very positive news. So I was a bit concerned at this area whether the Mana token might drop quite a bit more, but it didn't, and that's fantastic to see. So the bulls are slightly coming back into this one, that is for sure. RSI wise, we're approaching that kind of like top heavy into the third quarter. I would be suggesting that there's definitely room for growth here, but do anticipate a little tail off of correction before we see the upside again. And we have kind of had that emphasis around historically, of course, on that anticipation. I've drawn these little purple areas here. These are my actual potential buy opportunities that I have limit orders for. They might not all get ticked off, but one of them might do. My anticipation of around sort of 87 to 85 cents was one of my key markers here. And the reason I've done that is just historically, really, since the run that we've had back in towards June and from July as well. We do sometimes get these sort of big rises up and big, almost potentially 50% corrections in some cases, but I don't really anticipate a 50% correction just yet. Obviously, maybe in the future at some point, of course, but I'm just trying to anticipate 2 or 3 really key lines because I think that's important. I'm not buying at the moment because I've already got a good stash of Mana. I missed the opportunities down here, so I thought, well, as we're now in the growth pattern of the market, it doesn't really make sense for me personally, not financial advice to any of you guys, but me personally to not really invest in that, even though I believe, of course, there's going to be some great gains on Mana in this next run cycle for sure. So for me, I was just trying to get the best sort of return. So if I do see some return backs to these areas, I may accumulate small areas. I have obviously got bigger sort of asset builders around the lower regions, because obviously there's quite a significant difference between paying 90 cents and 70 cents in most aspects as well. So do keep an eye on that. In terms of actually the retracement levels at the moment, I mean, take this with a pinch of salt, of course, but including the most recent big run we had in March and April, there's no reason why this Mana token can't surpass the $2 mark. But we're already seeing significant numbers up here, and even above the $3 mark. So it's really interesting to see, where this might play out. But first of all, before I go majorly into price predictions, I want us to hit some key areas here on the chart. So I've drawn out here on the orange line at the top. I'm hoping that you guys can see that okay. I think you can, maybe just about, if I just move that very quickly. So the reason I put this orange line here, this just indicates some really unique support line levels or resistance levels in historic data for this year. So there's two elements for us to consider on a psychological level and a historic level as well. So of course there's the general rounded up number of the dollar mark, which of course we're trying to anticipate towards. What I find interesting here is we literally touched the 97, which is usually quite a psychological impact number, because what tends to happen with a lot of the traders is they'll never really put a dollar in as kind of a limit buy, but the majority of the population of retail traders will probably do a dollar because it's a rounded number. But when actually you want to probably be looking, not financial advice, just personal opinion, but when you're sort of doing selling orders around that sort of 96 to 97 area, and slightly above that as well in some cases where you have like maybe between 102, 104, or certainly where this yellow line is, because this yellow line with the historic element is going to be an opportunity for traders where they've seen historic data and they're going to put in orders because they do perhaps believe that there's going to be some kind of resistance. So what I'm expecting with Mana, it'd be really interesting to see if we continue this run directly straight into the dollar, or if we have the correction first, hopefully into my area around here, and then the push up towards that, or if we're just going to go straight for it. Like I said, we were so close, only 3 cents off it. Is there enough in the tank for us to do that? But we have dropped back today. It'd be interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to doing a video in a few days' time to analyze this improvement here. But with this steady growth, I'm just anticipating a bit of a tail off and then maybe a little bounce back up to that dollar. It would be really interesting to see if we do push for the dollar immediately or do the slight correction and then upwards again, because there is a bit of profit taken to be had here, of course. Back down here at 75 cents on the 18th, back up to 97. So that's a good little mini growth spurt there, and some profit taken I'm sure will be in the equation, considering as well the RSI is getting a slightly top heavy. Once this gets into maybe 75 or above, that's when I think people will take the reaction of that, because if you go back sort of around 14 days, you're seeing a good opportunity for selling. So as well, if it does drop down, we will do an analysis video on that as well, because we don't want to just do things when they're rising. So I'm going to do this in a bit of reversal in the next video if it does drop down, because obviously we're talking about potential buy opportunities, but I think in the reversal, of course, it's good opportunities for selling as well. So from a selling perspective, of course, like as I said just a minute ago, it didn't quite make that 97. So you've got to kind of adjust this sort of approach really. You could have one or two different opportunities and do different percentages of selling. So you could hit maybe like around this sort of mark, around 97. I was anticipating a 97 mark. In fact, did it hit 96.90? Can you believe that? I usually have them at like 9740 kind of prices, so I would have just about missed out on that. But the day has not ended yet. We've still got the Asian market opening at 2 a.m. as well, so we might push that over the line, or it might be tomorrow, or it might come down. So let's just have a think about that. And also like some sell orders, as I mentioned, with these kind of resistance lines, to have a think about that. And it depends on the momentum at the time and the announcements. We could go straight through that. So that's why I want to do an analysis in a few days' time when we have a bit more of a realistic overview of this pan out in the next week or two and following months. So guys, I hope you found that relatively informative. Please do let us know in the comments below if you hold Mana tokens and what you think about the platform in general moving forward for Decentraland. And please do like the video if you have found it interesting and we haven't bored you to death or anything. So we will continue to do chart analysis videos on multiple different assets, but let us know if there's any assets in particular you want us to cover in the future videos. And also we will have more of the educational videos coming your way this week, especially around staking and rewards on multiple different assets as well, and loads of new intro projects, both new gems and existing awesome blockchain projects that are out there currently as well. So hopefully this is a good mix for you guys, and just leave it there, I guess, and we will see you and Mana on the moon. Take care everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Mana to the moon.